So, good evening. Welcome to the UK's number one at 9 o'clock on a Sunday Star Trek web-based show. Not to be confused with any other UK-based web shows that are held on any other night, but may also be number one. We're not starting a feud with any viewers or other things whatsoever. It's got a weekend of building. Evening.
Good evening.
Right. Let's do the disclaimer first before anyone says anything. Let's Talk Trek is not endorsed, sponsored, or affiliated with CBS Studios Incorporated, Paramount Pictures Corporation, or the Star Trek franchise. Star Trek and its various marks are trademarks of CBS Studios Incorporated.
And we are not endorsed in any way by the Chinese Lucky Cat waving company, contrary to popular belief. But if they would like to send us... Get it out then, come on.
If only I'd known.
What do you mean you didn't know? How could you not know?
Oh,
The show's built on.
It is. Well, that's the legal bit.
There we are.
So we
Let's
can't
all
get
do the
sued.
salute. There we are. Right. That'll be marvellous.
Right, no, we can't do that salute. Whoopi Goldberg's got in trouble for this type of stuff this week.
Is she?
Yeah. Yo, she's upset everybody this week. We're not here to talk about Whoopi Goldberg. Right. Let's go through the first ones. First of all, I'm Dan. That's Richard. That's Carl down there. And this below me, this is Brett.
It's not James.
This is Annie. And
That's
this
not
is
James.
They are not James. Yes.
James was doing an impression of Future Guy from Enterprise.
Oh, okay. Right, okay. So let's quickly go through. We'll introduce who Brett and Annie are in a couple of minutes. We'll go into who they are. At the moment, they're just mystery guests, which all of our American friends are going, who the hell are they? Carl, if you can be in charge of pressing up some good evenings.
Okay, here we go. Good evening, Ben.
Hi, Ben.
Hey, man. Now, while Carl's putting up some good evenings on the screens, good evening, Gary.
Hey, Gary.
We want to say big congratulations and round of applause to Carl on the birth of his daughter yesterday evening.
Woo!
Not that Carl did anything, it was all his lady wife, but you know.
My hand was squeezed sufficiently to say that I had an input.
I'm reasonably confident in assuming you did provide some DNA in the transaction.
Yes.
Well done, you. Marvellous. Good job, that man.
And the baby is called
Esri.
Oh, good name.
And
is middle name Dax.
No, unfortunately not. Well, it could end up being. We've not actually chosen a middle name as yet. So there is potential.
I'll put £10 in any charity box you want if you call the middle name Dax.
How about a TCT?
£10 of my own actual money, not even out of my business account, of actual real money that I actually have to go and earn. That isn't tax refundable. Come on, Carl.
Hey,
It's not me you've got to convince. I've managed to play my other half and get 2 Star Trek names for my children. So
Cherie's not been on for ages, and she's remembered us and come back. Lovely to see you. Again, Emma.
Evening, Emma.
Fantastic. Like a good find on the dinosaur. Marvellous.
Oh, yeah. Emma's the lovely lady that found that dinosaur, that sea dragon that was found somewhere.
She's been on the news and everything, wearing a cagoule.
Yes. Who's in charge of that?
I've not heard that word for years.
You're in the north. You live in cagoules. What do you mean?
Brett and Annie are wondering what on earth they signed up for. Don't worry.
Yeah.
If you're watching this on Watch Along, because this exact show is being recorded and will be shown again on the SF Ball, and more about that coming up. If you're watching this on Watch Along, you can catch us on a Sunday, and you can catch these amazing people every year at the SF Ball. But that's more of that to come. Don't.
Hey, Paul.
Oh, it does wave.
Hey, Stephen.
Carl, can you have a new baby more often? It helps our viewership.
I was going to say the engagement's going through the roof. Wait till I tell everyone that Nicole DeBoer actually put a comment on the picture I put on Twitter.
Did she?
Yeah.
It's amazing what that auto reply app thing will do for her, isn't it?
Don't take it away from me like that.
Right. Dale's in. Good evening. I'm new to this from Coventry, England. Hello.
Hey, Dale. How you doing,
Evening,
buddy?
Dale. You've come to the right place.
Coventry, the upmarket part of Birmingham. Right, so normally we do one of our features called Get James Drunk, but he's not here yet, so we're going to hold off on that one. So let's introduce our special guest first. And press that one, and then it is
There we
one
go.
there.
Now we're perfect. Oh, we've got our. There we are. Look. Hi, my name's Brett Jones, and this is
Annie Linda.
and we run the Sci-Fi Ball that's been running down in Southampton and Bournemouth for the last 27 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
So,
Where did our lives go?
27 years.
I know. We've been actually running a sci-fi Star Trek convention for 27 years every February.
An astonishing achievement. I think
Thank
that's
you.
just a round of applause just for that. That's incredible. Marvelous.
Thank you.
So I'm just going to cut across to
on.
our legal expert. James, 27 years, is that considered a life sentence?
Yes,
Certainly feels that way these days.
but I'm prepared to release you on parole.
Oh,
Oh, they're too kind.
at least for next weekend.
Yes.
Oh, so,
Yes.
yeah, wow, okay. So for people that have joined us and have no idea who the Sci-Fi Ball is, and by the way, the Sci-Fi Ball is one of the four of us that are normally on the show. Quick show of hands if you have been to Sci-Fi Ball. Just Richard that hasn't. And Richard has spent this weekend asking us what the Sci-Fi Ball is like.
Yeah.
As we drove past Southampton and Bournemouth and all of that area,
Yeah.
Put it this way: if you go to sleep during the ball, you've missed
You
something.
definitely missed something.
We've not met, so this is what I tend to do at conventions a lot. I go to bed at about 10 o'clock at night. And
I'll be
I
honest.
sleep. Yeah.
Most places I would feel comfortable falling asleep. If I fell asleep in the Sci-Fi Ball, I wouldn't feel comfortable. I would either wake up with pen on me, parts of my eyebrows shaved off, or pictures of horrendousness for next year. And I just, you don't fall asleep in public at the Sci-Fi Ball. No.
No, you probably
I
turned
don't
to the
think
game show.
No, I don't sleep on a bench like a vagrant, Dan. I go back to my room.
No, we've got midnight crazy golf tournaments happening around the convention. It doesn't actually stop, and I can't believe we've been doing it this damn long.
Hopefully you're not too noisy, though.
In what way? What you mean to wake people up?
If I'm going to come and I want to sleep, and all this chaos is going on in the hotel, I don't,
It's on the main
No,
floor.
hang on a minute. If you came to a convention, you came to party. Let's face it. That's what we do really, really well.
Well, for me, parties are a glass of red wine and a nice hot bath. So,
Goodness me, it's a middle-aged Trekkie.
absolutely. That's pretty much, that describes me down to a T. That's fantastic.
That should be your new web handle, Richard.
It
The
should be
middle-aged
middle-aged.
Trekkie.
I'm dropping my knighthood, and I'm going back to. I'm just being middle-aged Trekkie.
It's true, like last night when we rolled in, Richard was all, no, let's go to bed, and Dad and me, no, let's go and find some wine. Where can we get it? Let's have it delivered.
Yeah.
We all followed his
Right.
lead.
So I thought it might be fun to, if I press whichever button it is. Right. Talk amongst yourselves while I
Well, you
So I
make
want to know more about the. I want to know more about the ball. So you've been doing it for 27 years.
Yeah.
It's a get together. I've obviously heard of the ball from these guys, and I've been trying to find out what it's about. And as I understand it, I mean, when I go to Destination Star Trek and things like that, the bit I enjoy the most is always just hanging around. Don't get me wrong, I love the actors and everything, but it's hanging around with other Trekkies is the bit that I get the most out of. And when I meet people at these conventions, they're the sort of people I'm really pleased I've met. It's not a case of I can't wait to get away from them. I stay in contact with them and I make new friends, and they're always the best people to meet and make friends. And Carl and Dan and James have all said, well, really, this is exactly what the Sci-Fi Ball is, and it's what it's for.
Yes.
Yes.
We're a family.
We've been running now for so long that we've got multi-generational Trekkies who actually attend our events
Middle-aged ones.
as well, who've actually had families for geeks, which is quite impressive. But we've actually got them now, so we can see in some of our videos from, say, Ball 7, them having their first child, and now in Ball 27, they're 20 years old and they're still coming. So, this is total social interaction. That's exactly what we do.
We love social intercourse on this show. We can't get enough
Indeed,
of
you
it.
do.
On the subject of procreation, may I lend my applause to the cacophony that must go to Carl for adding more of his genetic diversity to the gene pool.
Well, thank you.
Many congratulations, old boy.
So as you can see from this video, it keeps running. This is the Sci-Fi Ball website, and it is a video that runs at the beginning, which sort of gives you a flavour of what the ball is.
It's running a bit Clash of the Titans, if I'm honest with you, Dan. I'm not sure how it's running for you, but for me, it's a bit like a stop motion skeleton, I'm afraid. But it's giving us an idea.
It's running fine, right?
It is a bit jerky.
If I can say something in terms of interaction and inclusivity, because one of the things that we were very determined to do at the very beginning of the ball is to make it all inclusive, so that people would come and they'd want to come back. They want to feel part of something that meant something to them. And the last ball, I had a young person come up to me in tears and said to me, "I have had such an amazing weekend. I've been to lots of events where they say they're inclusive, but this is the only event I've ever been to where I've actually felt that way." And I was really moved by that, because that's our intention. We have no boundaries whatsoever, apart from obviously decent
Decency,
behavior.
yes.
But no, seriously, we've been inclusive to everybody from the start. I had small children when I first started this event, and they've grown up with it and gone through various stages of loving it and then finding their mother terribly embarrassing. So, and they've come full circle almost. So,
Yeah, with their own kids.
yes.
Now it's actually very strange. We were talking about this yesterday or the day before. It's, as I'm sure you guys from the ball are aware, we've been doing some work with some other event companies who pay us to do some work, and it's a paid gig, and that's
Sure.
business is business, and we will never slag off one event company to another, and that's how we are. We're very professional on this. But the ball is one of the ones that has got so much goodwill. You don't find with most event companies, it's probably 50-50 on people that say good things about them and bad things. And that's the reality of it. And when you're an admin on some of these Facebook pages, you see the good and the bad. You speak to people about the SF ball, and I'd say it's 99% of the stuff you hear is always positive. And it's just like, it's almost unheard of in the events industry. And it's been such a hard, obviously working in events, it's such a hard 2 years. The last 2 years have been absolute hell for anyone that's involved in events. And yet you say to them, the ball's not this weekend, it's been cancelled to next year. Everyone's fine with it. It's just like, it's absolutely insane.
Apart from everybody being totally disappointed, and we are too, because
That's it.
Up till just before Christmas, we were having meetings about running the actual event and going again.
Yeah.
And, we suddenly found ourselves, there's 20 of us sitting in a room, we're all sitting with masks. How can we have a social event if we can't even see one another's faces?
Yeah, and I think if you don't know what our event is about, we are probably one of the last conventions of its kind. I mean, when we started a very long time ago, and probably before we were all met, because we met at uni, there were something like 35 Star Trek conventions a year, which were all very well attended. And this was before the burgeoning of the internet, before the online stuff started. So when that internet became so big, it kind of killed a lot of the conventions, because people could get what they wanted online. We used to have video rooms, people fell asleep in them all night, that kind of thing. Video rooms became defunct, so that was something that went out of the window, which we had at the very beginning because everybody wanted. And I mean, we were very lucky because we actually ran for a couple of years before we started the ball at uni, because we started a sci-fi society. And luckily, we are not going to say online where they came from or anything like that, but we were lucky enough to acquire episodes, shall we say, of a certain program before it had been aired sometimes. And of course, our lecture theatres were absolutely stocked full. And it was my fault, because I basically said, well, if we can do 300-400 people a month, then we can do a convention. Why don't we? And everybody went, oh, yeah, okay. And of course, as we say, the rest is history. We're still here.
Yeah. How hard can it be?
Yeah, but our event is very different to a signing show because that's not our emphasis. You can get your signatures. We designate a couple of hours a day for signings, but that's it, because that's not really what we're about. We're about having social events, games, parties. We have a gold ticket party, which is a champagne cocktail party for a limited ticket, where people can actually get a little closer to the guests, and that enables us to raise a little bit.
Enables you to harvest their DNA if you can get close enough.
And of course, we have the ball and 3-course dinner and celebrity cabaret on the Saturday night. And this is why, for us, the current situation is almost impossible, because you cannot make a viable event with spaced tables and things. It's just not going to be the same thing.
No, and we do it because we love it.
We do.
You know,
It's a passion.
it's absolutely a passion, because we've never been paid for doing this. We don't pay any of our staff for doing it, and we've got 60 volunteers that just help us and have stupidly loony good times with us,
Crying
and
with
just make
laughter.
make the most amazing memories. And you know, I wish I could share that feeling with you over the internet, because
Yeah.
running the ball is the best feeling.
Yeah, it is. And of course, we raise money for charity, so that's it.
Chris has asked us, did you used to be called the Starfleet Ball?
Yes, we did.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, we did. When Babylon 5 hit and Star Trek took a massive nosedive in popularity, we took the idea of making the event a bit more science fiction based.
Diversifying.
Yeah, and we dropped the actual Starfleet Ball name per se, so we became the Sci-Fi Ball.
Right, so obviously this is a Star Trek show, and we do focus a lot on Star Trek, and we're going to ask you as our guest this week. It's being said at the moment that we are in a new golden age of Star Trek with new things out all the time. What is your favourite of the new Trek so far, and which ones of the new ones coming up are you looking forward to the most?
I've watched the first couple of episodes of Prodigy, and I absolutely loved it. Because, you don't know, but I do work in animation, visual effects, and post-production. So I'm absolutely loving just the look of that series. It's just so cool. And Janeway's really cool too, but I'm absolutely loving Prodigy.
Ali?
I think for me, it's probably Discovery. I love Discovery, and I also love Picard.
Oh, yeah, I've forgotten about that.
Yeah, don't forget Picard. Come on now.
We've literally we've gone from such a, and I think I do believe that the whole fallow years we had, where we had no fresh Trek coming out, I think that's where you discovered this die-hard core of fans who the only way they could get their fix was by reliving it all with their friends. You know, I'm not saying I want another fallow period, but I think that's why it's one of the reasons why we have such a tight-knit community of die-hard fans in the Star Trek world. I really do.
Yeah, and also when Babylon 5 hit, there was a schism in conventions,
definitely.
where you were
Schism.
either a Babylon 5 fan or you were a Star Trek fan. It really did split the community.
I'm gonna step forward here and say, actually, what happened was the Star Trek fans embraced everything, because I think that most of them, I won't say all of them, it's perhaps a little bit of a generalization, but they are science fiction fans, and Star Trek feeds that. Whereas the Babylon 5 fans, again, it's probably my perception, but they came into it in a different way, and there was nothing else but Babylon 5, and Babylon 5 was better. But the creator of Babylon 5 said quite succinctly that his inspiration was Star Trek growing up. So they are interlinked. All of it is interlinked, and I don't think there should be any divisive element, because there's room for everything, and you can just see it on all the different channels.
Room for everything, including improvement.
Indeed.
So, yes.
Oh,
Never be shy about being vocal about what you don't like. James, what are you enjoying the most about the new era of Star Trek?
I really like Picard and having all the characters come back.
I am especially looking forward to Strange New Worlds.
Yes, very much looking forward to that. Almost as much as Picard season 2. Carl?
I've got to go with Prodigy. Been enjoying that with my 3-year-old son. He loves it.
My kids enjoy it as well. They really do. I enjoy it. I think it's great, and it's good when you've got something you can force your kids to watch to start getting them into it. You know, so it's a bit. But it's like if you want to make sure your child supports the correct football team, you buy them a Christmas present from that football club. You know, as they get old, it becomes like a second nature. Then just brainwashing.
Do you mean rugby football team, Richard?
No,
I mean the beautiful game, James.
Association football.
Association football. You know,
it's strange because Carl said it the other week, which was, it wasn't a case of he was suggesting to put Prodigy on at that point. It's the fact that his son was asking for it.
Oh, he was doing. He saw the advert, didn't he? And he was doing.
Oh yeah, when he saw the trailer, he grabbed one of my Micro Machines starships and started reenacting the trailer and coming out of his hand and everything. It was great.
Yeah, that's how you bring up a good geek. That's how you get geeks into the system.
Absolutely.
Right, so let's do some of our features. If you haven't watched the show before, we do features. First feature of the evening will be this one. So let's press the button.
Now, dear viewer, yesterday, my esteemed colleague Richard and my esteemed colleague Dan, we had the privilege of being invited to a party, and drink was taken. And in honour of that particular event, this evening's cocktail is a little something from Starfleet Medical. And what you will need is some very, very pure glacial ice harvested from an asteroid belt. I've got some here that I've had melted.
That looks
And
just
this
like
is from the
water,
medical
James.
boys. This is called an aspirin.
Oh,
And this is what I needed today.
okay. So as we were speaking earlier about,
Delicious. I'm going to call this the Sarah Prydu cocktail.
so as we mentioned, I'm the one that goes to bed at a sensible time, and this evening I am drinking. Well, actually, I'm not sure what it is. It's not my usual one because Click and Collect couldn't do it. Didn't have. This is more expensive than usual. This probably costs like £7.
Splashing out there, Richard.
Paracetamol is available from all good chemists.
I'm just checking the back of it. It's still tramp strength, so I'm good. But we're
Okay, so as has been mentioned, we did
Crisp,
go.
yet nutty with a herbaceous aftertaste.
We did go to the Tricky Girl's birthday party this weekend.
Would you like a slide, Dan?
No.
I've got one.
Oh God.
It's a proper one. It's not.
When you say the Trekkie girls' birthday, it wasn't like all their birthdays in one.
No. It was, go on then.
It's not. It's. I know I've got a bit of a reputation for doing very crass and inappropriate.
Being edgy.
This is not. This is a real thing. So here we are.
Oh, what
Not
have we
going to
got?
spoil anyone's fun. Look.
Dear CBS, I've got nothing to do with these guys, honestly.
Ah, yes.
Oh yeah, that's us.
So I'd like to bring our viewers' attention to the balloon arch, and note there was not one single sausage dog, no pirate sword, nothing. I specifically requested balloon animals, and it was not honoured. But aside from that, it was a perfect party.
Yeah. And I did promise I'd give her a shout out first. Sarah actually had a really good playlist.
Yeah, she did.
She was really panicking because she's like, "Aren't you a nightclub DJ?" I'm like, "Yeah, I am." She's like, "Oh, my playlist is going to be awful." I was like, "It'll be fine, it'll be fine." And I went, "Listen," and I was like, "Your playlist is actually really good, you know."
And the band
Yet
was
nothing by
awesome as well.
Sibelius or Bach.
Wow.
It was a really good band. The booze was incredibly cheap.
Right. So let's just have a look.
Hence this.
Chris has just put this in. The last year I went to the Starfleet ball. Oh, that's the sci-fi ball, isn't it? Bob Picardo was singing, and he had
He's got a lovely voice.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah, it was. He did Smoke Gets in Your Eyes with our
He
50s
did,
band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chris, you haven't been for too many years. Sort it out.
Yeah.
Chris.
Definitely. Definitely.
Yeah, we're still going. Where are you?
All the money you've saved, Chris, you can afford a decent ticket now.
Oh,
Right. Chris says that his daughter Amelia has the Romulan pox, so there's no booze for him, just no sleep for 3 days.
oh dear.
Ooh.
Well, that's the problem. If you have some booze, you'll probably be able to sleep. You won't be able to hear her crying.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Parenting tip.
Parenting tips.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Let's move on. Thank you for your booze reviews, James. Oh, go on, put some. Yeah, that's it. Put some tequila in it. It'll be better. Anyway, Collectible Corner this week is not by Carl. It is actually Brett's Collectible Corner. Things that we think James hasn't got.
Ooh, that's lovely.
This,
All of the 90s cast did those, didn't they?
yeah, this is a completely signed black and white photograph of the Voyager crew, complete with Ethan Phillips on a box, because that's the only way he's taller than Jennifer Lean.
That's nice.
really beautiful. Oh, we should recreate that photo.
Oh, no.
We actually did that at
Yeah.
all three. We all lined up and did this. Although we don't have anybody as short as Jennifer Lean, but yeah, and it's all signed at the bottom as well. So yes, this is one of my prize pictures. That's for sure. So I hope you don't have this.
Can I just point out in this photo, in that picture, you've got Tim Russ, Robbie Duncan McNeil, and Bob Picardo, all trying to see who can flex their muscles the most.
Yeah.
There's some definite, tense up boys going on.
It's the folded arm one, isn't it? That's it. Yeah. There we go.
Yeah. So that's,
Which way's the beach, James?
and then others. I don't know if you've heard of the Minifigures Collection. You want to just hold it up to the Minifigures?
Oh, I've not seen these.
Come!
Don't show Carl these.
What else have I got?
I can find room on my shelf.
No, you can't.
Are you thinking your appraisal at the moment, Carl?
I really can find room on my shelf for such things.
Captain Kirk. Look at the smile on that.
That's a man. That's a cat who got the tribble.
Yep. There's another Spock there. And somewhere in here I have got...
It's like Christmas, isn't it?
It is. I haven't got these out for a long time.
The Gorn.
That's a lovely
The Gorn?
Yeah.
That one?
Nice.
But of course, I've stayed overnight with the original Gorn, so that is my big claim to Trek fame. Bobby Clark. And of course, I take this with me.
Okay, Carl, let's talk valuations.
Yes. Before you do talk valuation, I wonder if I've got something I'd like to throw in this week for Collectible Corner for be evaluated.
There's an absolute plethora
I know what
of
you're going
things
to
in
put in.
Collectible Corner this week. Plethora.
As our regular viewer will know, I prefer things that are more unique, that no one else can have. And we featured this particular one before. This is, of course, Anson Mount's DNA, which I got from Anson Mount in the public toilet of the Hilton Hotel. And it stood alone, my pride and joy. Now, this weekend just passed, I've managed to add to the collection.
Ooh.
I've managed to achieve, that's right, I got the DNA of Carol, one of the Trekkie girls. So now I've got a set.
Hang on, where are you holding that?
Sorry?
What, are you polluting the
gosh,
DNA? Where are you holding
DNA.
it?
Good God, sorry, yes. I should be wearing my gloves, shouldn't I? So now I've got...
Now you'll end up cloning yourself now.
Yeah, so now I've actually got a collection. So I know you didn't value Mount's DNA just on its own, but now I've got a collection. I wonder if it tickles your oyster.
Just hold those there for
Wait,
1
wait,
second,
right.
Richard. I just want to take a screenshot. There
Is
we
it
go.
the word Mount Carroll that you're taking a screenshot of?
Yep. That's for future use.
Yeah.
Also, Richard, can I remind you we need to have a chat about the Human Embryology and Fertilization Act of 1990?
I would like to point out this one I did drop in a puddle, so it might not be.
Richard, can I just point out you're holding these out near Brett, who is an expert at post-production stuff. So please.
Carol gave, well, actually, Anson Mount and Carol both gave me their DNA of their own free will. And in both instances, it was on the understanding I would leave them alone.
Now, I've seen films that involve DNA, and my understanding is you have to get a can of barbicide, and then the DNA fits inside. That's how DNA is transported. I watched Jurassic Park at a young age. I know that's how DNA is stolen. So,
or some amber. You can transport
amber.
it in amber quite safely, yeah.
Right. Alan Window has just asked, excuse me, Heather, what is a plethora?
Plethora is many.
Can I do it? Can I do it?
Yes,
Does everyone mind
please
if I
do.
do it? But okay. Alan, I know I do not have your intellect and education.
Brett and I are looking very confused. This is from the Free Amigos. Very bad.
I know the Three Amigos, but that didn't ring any bells.
Then you haven't seen it enough times.
What is a plethora?
It's never got to the line yet. Come on.
Plethora. It is a sweater.
No, it is not a sweater.
Excuse me. Are you the singing bush?
You just shot the singing bush.
No. They shot the invisible swordsman.
Invisible Horde, yeah, sorry, they shot the invisible swordsman.
I love the fact that our new viewer Dale is like, what the hell?
Watch some of the reruns, Dale. You'll catch it.
So can you even better watch there, Carl?
From an actual dinosaur person, Emma says that Jurassic Park is science truth 101%.
Oh, Emma, do you have facilities for us to clone things using DNA?
Yeah. If there's any chance, because I've got a couple of it, I can post them to you. I'll put them in some cling film.
Do you know what? If I had one wish in this world, it's that Carol from the Trekkie Girls has a twin sister. And one day she just rocks up with a twin sister and Richard looks really confused. That's what I really want to
I could just turn up with Carol and claim that she's a clone. Would that help you?
Oh. Well, problem solved there. Right, Emma, how quickly could we have a fully functional Anson Mount?
Just think, we could revolutionize the events industry if we cloned all the guests. We could send them. We could get them out much cheaper to all the events. Appearing live this weekend in Vegas, Britain.
Oh,
Hey,
sorry,
Kerry!
guys.
Hey, Kerry!
Sorry, new watcher alert. We do talk about Star Trek. It is a Star Trek show. Sorry.
Occasionally. Right.
Probably.
Moving on.
Chance on it.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't want to risk being too much of a Star Trek show.
Good answer.
Good answer, yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'll buy you a ticket, Emma, if you clone Anson Mount for us.
Now, we have been
I'll buy you two.
We have been every week this week for the last couple of weeks titillating our viewers with the amazing Picard Season 2 trailer. Now, Brett and Ali, have you seen this yet?
Yes, I have.
Right, it's coming on the screen in just a moment. So,
You need to
You're
run the
desperate for
disclaimer.
CBS to shut us down,
I was
aren't
going to
you?
say, you
Disclaimer first.
severely want us to be shut off again, don't you?
it's fine.
There are some moments that haunt us all our lives. Moments upon which history turns.
Well, hello, my friend.
What is this? What have you done?
Welcome to the road not taken.
Do you have any idea what's happening here? Reality has been broken.
There is a divergence. I know someone who could help us understand the change in time.
I'm gonna need some tea. Earl Grey, piping hot.
Hello, Guinan.
Your answers are not in the stars, and they never have been.
Earth 2024. A single change is vastly more dangerous than you realize. None of our tomorrows are guaranteed. You're gonna have to let go.
we're stronger together. You must bring us home.
This is a very bumpy century. But I think I'm getting the hang of it.
I believe you have one final frontier yet to come.
Exciting, isn't it?
I mean, hey, Picard, what's the matter with you? I'm from New Jersey.
For people who pay a lot more attention to these things than I do and look for Easter eggs and things, I've not seen. I quite like the chap in season 1 that turned up the premiere in the pajamas, the Romulan with the sword. Is he in this season?
Oh,
yeah, I didn't see him at all in that montage. Did I?
Yeah,
No,
he
no.
is in there.
Yeah, he looked like he was dying on that medical bed.
Yeah,
I thought that was a flashback to Eched dying.
Well, that was good fun, wasn't it? I enjoyed that.
It's amazing, isn't it? You upset the producers at CBS and they couldn't kill off your character.
In quite a way as well. Yeah, they really did rip it apart.
Poor Manu. Anyway, yes, we are very excited for Picard season 2, and it is now 4 weeks away.
Oh, yeah.
March, is it?
Oh, hang on a minute. Is the release date going to coincide when you guys are coming down for the John Williams concert?
No, unfortunately not.
Oh, blasted. That would have been good.
Isn't it? Also, this week in actual news, and there's been actual real sci-fi news. It's sci-fi, so we can be involved in any of this. Orville: New Horizons, the title sequence for that has been released and leaked.
Have you seen the shuttlecraft?
Oh my God! Oh, do we have it?
Oh,
Drexler. Yeah.
So yeah, Orville. I mean, I am right in saying that everyone on this live now loves the Orville. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Good. Excellent. It has been leaked by Disney, so call it a leak if you want, that May is going to be the launch month for Obi-Wan. So we are looking forward to that on Disney release.
Dad. This is not the franchise you're looking for.
No, it's not. But it is Ewan McGregor, and Ewan McGregor is a cool guy to like motorbikes. And he's a Jedi, but mostly.
Move along.
That's almost as good as your Avery Brooks. That one is.
Hang on a minute. Who's got the? Hey, Nadim. Who's got the clicker where we ask people to buy us a drink?
Nobody. Nobody's got that one this week.
Put that up again, James. Do your Jedi mind trick.
You want to buy us drinks? Send us money.
There we go.
Yes.
The problem is it only works
You
on the
don't
weekend.
want to sell me death sticks. You want to go home and rethink your life.
I want to go home and rethink my life.
I love the yellow brick road.
So, interestingly, I mean, we're seeing a lot of sci-fi getting rebooted and re-brought back to life. Obviously, I mean, Disney are doing it non-stop at the moment. They've got Boba Fett, they've got Mandalorian, they've got you've got McGregor about to do Obi-Wan, you've got Strange New Worlds. With every man and his dog now apparently in some sort of sci-fi production, does it make getting guests harder because everyone's suddenly getting jumped back into work all of a sudden?
I think it's actually making it easier because there's a lot bigger range of actors that we can call on, especially in this country, because what with Game of Thrones, what with Doctor Who and Outlander and all of the other stuff that's being made, then we've got a much, much bigger reach for some really, really interesting actors we can talk to. I mean, we had Sean Pertwee the other year, and he was in the Batman series, which was absolutely fabulous. And he was a great guy.
Yeah, it was. It was lovely, absolutely lovely, and so interesting.
So yeah, I think it's the more shows we have, the more guests we can have, and the better show we can put on, and the more interesting actors can interact with the attendees. So more power to sci-fi.
Chris says he's really looking forward to the eventual Quantum Leap reboot.
Oh yeah, I was talking to Carolyn Seymour the other night, who you might remember as the evil Leaper in the
Yes.
Yep. Well, I was talking to her, and she said that she's hoping to be contacted about it. So fingers crossed for Carolyn.
Excellent.
Oh, yes, she was the equivalent to Al, wasn't she? She
That's
was
right.
the
Yeah,
evil hologram.
The evil
Yeah.
Al.
Evil
Yes.
Al.
Now,
High cheekbones and a sinister voice.
Indeed, yes.
this
And
isn't.
obviously, being English, can play a baddie really well.
Exactly. It's in the DNA.
As we are pushing this one out live for the Sci-Fi Ball, we are going to talk about a bit of general sci-fi as well as Star Trek this week, because we can do. And as so, I thought it might be fun to ask the panel, do you have anybody you would like to be playing the next Doctor? Obviously we know Jodie Whittaker is on the way out. We don't know who's... So let's start with... next week, we'll go with Richard.
The next Doctor Who, if I could have anyone at all...
Yes.
Or realistically, could it be someone that would do it?
It could be. Let's go with someone you think could realistically be asked into the role.
Stephen Fry.
Oof.
Okay. Why?
Because I've never seen him deliver a poor performance in anything, and he does exactly the right amount of seriousness. He comes across as very smug and very clever and always knows everything, but also delivers the comedy bit. And I think those are the three ingredients that you need to make a good Doctor.
Not a bad shout. Carl, Doctor Who.
Well, I've never really watched Doctor Who, have I? I'm not really a Doctor Who fan.
Not a Whovian.
No. So it's not really one I can render any sort of opinion on, in all honesty. But if I had to pick someone... Give me a minute. Give me a minute.
Okay. James.
Hugh Laurie.
Oh, Hugh Laurie.
He'd be a good assistant.
Yeah,
You like James and Worcester.
the Doctor,
You
because he
like
does irascible. Irascible.
I'll give you that. Interesting. Okay. Brett.
Toby Jones. I think he'd be fantastic. He can do anything, that guy. And he would be an incarnation of the Doctor you've never seen before. He can do comedy, because I saw him in the Morecambe and Wise play. He can do, really stern stuff. Toby Jones all the way.
Annie, come on, cause a fight. Choose someone else that's not Toby Jones.
Martin Sheen.
Oh, yes, he's a favourite, isn't he?
Yeah, he would be very interesting, I think. He's a great actor. He's very versatile. I loved him in
Good Omens.
Good Omens, yeah.
What about the rumour that the next Doctor is going to be played by David Tennant?
Well, why not? That's cool as well.
What do we have here?
Yes, so this was James and Dan throwing their hat into the ring. I'm trying to work out who would be Doctor and who would be assistant.
Well, obviously James would be the Doctor. Now,
That's the really shoddy TARDIS we found.
I have an option. I'd quite like Martin Freeman.
Well, just genuinely.
No, you prick.
Why? What's wrong with Martin Freeman?
Fucking hate him, that's why.
You're not allowed to say that. He's probably a friend of the ball. You just upset all the ball people.
We can say nothing.
Oh, well, what about David Lumley?
Sorry, everyone spoke at once then, and I'd got nothing but hatred for Martin Freeman, so carry on. I'm sure he's a perfectly nice chap. I just can't... It's like Simon Pegg. I just can't witness him without anger.
That's the guy in Discovery.
David Ajala. Interesting.
David Ajala. Actually, David Ajala's magnificent. He first came... He was... I don't want to be rude about Supergirl because I enjoyed it as a whole, but it was really losing its way. And when they brought in David Ajala as Manchester Black, he really kind of kicked the series into touch. It's a shame that he only did one series. And he's been fantastic in Discovery. I think he'd make a superb. Also, if we're going to look down that sort of route as well, inclusivity. I mean, it'd be fantastic if we could have a Black Doctor, and wouldn't Idris Elba be fantastic?
Oh, Idris Elba.
He'd be amazing, wouldn't he? He'd be absolutely
He's too busy
incredible.
floating around the Bond role, though.
No, I think that is going to Cavill. I think they've got that.
Oh, what about Jason Isaacs?
Well, yes, of course. He'd be marvellous, wouldn't he?
Problem solved.
Wow. Possibly.
Mr. Potter.
Maybe. I was going to say, if you're going to go down that route, maybe Adrian Lester might be a good shout. He's not really done a lot since Hustle. He's in that new.
He's mainly West
It's
End
got to
now,
be
I think.
someone British, hasn't it? Let's be honest.
Absolutely.
I don't think it's yeah.
Anyway, yeah, plenty of.
Oh, Robbie Coltrane. He'd be brilliant as the Doctor.
Could he get through the door though?
Well, yeah, absolutely. It's bigger on the. Oh no, hang on a minute. He could get out
still
the door,
get
but not in it. Yeah.
Outside the inside. Yeah.
Richard, that's why I don't store the shuttlecraft in the TARDIS, because I can't fit it through the door.
Let's be honest. And if we unfortunately, I know the gentleman's unfortunately passed away. I think we'd all agree Alan Rickman would have been a great Doctor.
Oh, I'll have this delicious eye
Do you know
rolling roll.
He'd have been a great Doctor, but he'd have been a better Master.
Yeah, it's true.
Yes, that's...
Use a spoon; it'll hurt more.
Essentially, you want the Master to be the Sheriff of Nottingham. Excellent.
Yeah. Well, isn't that what you saw? Isn't that in your mind's eye? It wasn't the guy from Truly Madly Deeply, was it?
Wait, who was it that told me that nearly every line that he did was ad-libbed? Or he essentially reread the script and was like, no, that's rubbish. I'm going to ad-lib this line and this line and this line. And they just left it all in the Robin Hood film.
Someone's actually in the comments has found a worse Doctor than Martin Freeman, which I didn't think would be possible, but it is. There we are.
Oh,
yeah. Thank you, Gary. Thank you for that.
Thank you, Gary. Thanks.
Why don't you just say John Barrowman and get it over with?
Wow. We love John Barrowman Behave. We've bought every single copy of his Evening with John Barrowman DVD.
Yes,
Well,
so Brett and Annie, you'll enjoy this. Dan has bought as a gift for me every copy of An Evening with John Barrowman that the CEX chain had on DVD. Every single copy.
22 copies.
And he thought it'd be very funny to have it sent to me at my office, thinking they'd all arrive in one big batch. But so far, a single one has turned up.
So I ordered 25 DVDs from the CEX chain. I put it in as one order and sent it off. And I was like, right, this is going to be amazing. And I addressed it to James's secretary. For James, attention of James's secretary. So she'd open it up and be like, what's with the weird Barrowman fetish? That's what we did. And the parcel has said shipping and has gone missing. And
So someone actually stolen it.
And CEX don't have 25 more copies to replace it with. So
it's a shame because I was looking forward to breaking out my air rifle and having some target practice.
Now, what I was more amazed at, it went missing just before Christmas. How gutted would you be if it's like, you're ripping open this stolen parcel, thinking it's the best thing in the world, it's a PlayStation, and no, it's not. It's 25 John Barrowman DVDs. What I've essentially done, James, is made sure that your address never gets anything stolen from it again, because whoever stole you is going to go, oh, not doing that again.
At this point,
valuable public service. Thank you.
I'd like to point out the chances are pretty strong that at some point in the next 10 years we will meet John Barrowman.
Fine.
And this show is getting more and more popular, so just
I have got no problem with John Barrowman.
No, you've got a massive DVD collection, so you're already there, fat boy.
Absolutely. So, right, moving on. So we've got
You're Scottish Barrowman. Stitch that, Jimmy.
Let's do some more news. So obviously, Orville has got a new trailer out. We know about that one. Prodigy is sort of trekking along at the moment and doing its own thing. Now, we're not going to talk about Prodigy because a lot of our viewers haven't seen it yet, and we're not going to spoil it. We're not one of these shows that spoils Star Trek because we wouldn't want it done to us.
It is a genuine pain for us, isn't it, that every time there's a new episode, we have to fly to the States to watch it legally.
And sorry,
I only just made it back to the hospital in time.
We're 10 minutes to 10, so I just need to have a quick pause. Everyone that's watching the show, thank you so much. If you're watching, if you could hit the like button, the love emoji, or the blowjob face, we'd really appreciate it, because all these interactions help boost our... I don't know what it does, but either way, if you could hit the like emoji, that'd be wonderful. Thank you so much.
Right, let's move on. Time for our next feature. Carl, do you have the wish clip?
I can.
Don't forget. Yes, dear viewer. So for Annie and Brett, this is my feature where I go onto the internet and find a clip, and hence we call it "What in Sam Hill is this nonsense you found?" And I stole the logo from something else. So this week, I found some proof that CBS has a very joined-up plan when it comes to all of its series, and that TNG was filmed 25 or so years ago, very clearly thinking what they were going to have as the next series to come along. Roll VT.
The judge advocate believes there is sufficient evidence to conclude that certain members of the crew did mutiny. Mutiny? A Federation starship? That's shocking. It's unthinkable. No, sir. You know, it wasn't easy to get this report. I had to pull in quite a few favors at Starfleet just to get a look at it. It seems that it was classified by Starfleet intelligence. Not only was the Discovery carrying sensitive equipment which must not be allowed to fall into Romulan hands, not only was there a mysterious explosion which seemed to destroy the ship but didn't, but it seems that there was a mutiny on board. Now, I've read the official report of the inquiry on that mutiny. Disastrous contact with the Klingon Empire led to decades of war.
The android at the bar said you could show me my old ship. Let me see it. What in blazes is this? Where have you put me? In my day, even an admiral would not have had such quarters in a starship. Computer, shut this bloody thing off. You know well that ship doesn't go very far with me. Now, this is the last episode I want to hear about you.
So, yes, there you have it. CBS very forward-thinking in the way that they created their TNG content.
So someone did that, did they?
It's not the best wish book we've had, has it? It's not the best.
I don't know what to say. It's hardly Ludlaw's frozen foods, is it? Have we got that? Can we run
the Milwaukee bus?
Are we able to run Ludlaw's frozen foods? Just so
no, I haven't got it. I haven't got it loaded up, unfortunately.
Well, that's
Should we find it?
Oh,
no. Find the link to Ludlaw's frozen food.
Or the Milwaukee bus rider. That was a brilliant. I mean,
that episode, which is Pegasus, is a brilliant episode.
It should have been a two-parter, really.
Well, it was. The second part was an Enterprise.
Contentious. It's contentious. But no, it was a wonderful episode.
Right, I'm sending the link now to the Loblaws frozen food advert. If someone can pick that up and screen share that.
James and Carl find that. Did anyone see the news this week that there is going to be a Starfleet Academy series?
Yes.
What, again?
No, it's a hint.
This has been going. They've done this 2 or 3 times already, and it's always just been dropped every time. I think the closest we've come to it is seeing Captain Kirk in the first film in his red uniform for the Academy stuff.
So the report has come out from Ryan Fuller, who says that there is a talk of a Starfleet Academy series taking place after Section 31 has been released. So Section 31 will come out first, and then Academy series will come out afterwards. So we'll see what happens.
The trouble is, you know who's going to be the main character on that, and James won't appreciate it.
Well, I think the original Starfleet Academy concept came out in the mid-90s. I think we were going to get Riker as an admiral, and this is obviously when like Buffy and everything was really popular. So it was going to be like a teen university kind of thing, which focusing on Red Squadron, which I thought generally would have worked. I think we could have had some good episodes. I don't think it'd work now. I mean, I've heard they're doing a Buffy reboot, and stuff. I think that's been saturated. I don't think people want to see that anymore myself. So if they are going to do a Starfleet Academy series, I'm really not certain what to expect. I don't know which way they would go with it.
I think they'll probably follow the Squid Game example.
I've not seen this Squid Game, but I have been octopus fishing.
Same sort of outcome, really. Same sort of outcome.
I've eaten calamari.
Me too. Lemon juice and a bit of salt.
Can we have a series with Chase Masterson?
If she
No,
would
Chase A.
give me-
Masterson.
Yeah, if Chase
What was it
Masterson
called,
could leave me
Chris?
alone for 5 minutes, then maybe she could do some work.
Chase Masterson is one of my favourite guests at the Sci-Fi Ball that I've seen. One of my favourite guests.
She's the reason I can't go.
You're coming to the next one. All right, right. We've got a couple of minutes left now. Either we can show the Ludlow's frozen food adverts, or Brett and Annie can do some plugging for the event that they're trying to plug while they're here as a guest. So which one are we going to go with?
I do like that Ludlow's frozen foods. I mean,
No.
Followed by Loblaws frozen.
Can we not do both?
We'll do the Ludlow's frozen food as the outro.
Yes.
Okay, all right.
So Brett and Annie, here you go. Here's your 5-minute pitch or 3-minute pitch, whatever you want. Pitch your show, pitch your gig. What have you got?
Sci-Fi Ball has been running for 27 years. Basically, we are a 3-day fan-run event. And essentially, if you go to sleep during the convention, you have missed something. We do guest talks, we do signings, we do photographs, we do quizzes, games, we do board games, we do video games, and we do parties like crazy. So come and join us, because you'll be surprised how much you have missed in the last 27 years. But don't worry, it's all available on videotape, which you can buy.
And we're also running an online event next weekend.
What's
Yes,
the
we
video?
do. Video.
What's the video?
Well,
Have you got a video recorder? Something you hit people with? Is it?
That's going on the best bits DVD.
That's how good our DVDs are. They make things fall off the walls. They
Who
are.
are you going to call?
You have a really good quiz there.
Have you ever had any Ghostbusters people at the Sci-Fi Ball?
Such as, you mean people in like from the...
People dressed up as the Ghostbusters?
Yes.
Yeah.
Lots of them.
Got Ernie Hudson. He's normally looking for work.
No, we haven't had him yet. Yeah, we've had all of the cast of Battlestar Galactica, most of the people from Voyager, a couple of people
Reboot
from
Battlestar
Trek.
Galactica.
We've had Linda Thorson from the Avengers.
Most of Next Generation.
We've had the Gorn, the original Gorn.
Just to jump in, do you mean the reboot Battlestar Galactica or the original?
The reboot, yes.
The reboot. Oh wow!
Oh yes.
Oh wow! Mate,
Because we're actually showing
that show. Yeah.
We're showing the Mary McDonnell talk next weekend, which is what this promo is for. So you'll be able to see what she was like at the ball, and she was fabulous.
She was great.
Did you have Richard Hatch once?
Kate as well.
Sci-Fi Balls in Southampton.
James, could you use the Force to bring down that other picture?
Oh. Did you have Richard Hatch once? Am I imagining that?
No, you're dreaming there.
No.
Obviously, he would have covered both generations, wouldn't he?
Oh, I stayed in my shell.
Look at Christoph. But you haven't got number 14, Christoph. It's only just come out.
Aha! Gotcha.
Right. Okay, well, that is it for today. We want to say a massive thank you to everyone that's watched today, everyone that's given us a reaction. We want to say a humongous thank you to Brett and Annie from the Sci-Fi Ball. And if you're watching this on Watch Along at the Sci-Fi Ball virtual online weekend thingy, hello. We will be there at next year. Next one.
Well, I'm
there in real life. You'll be able to come and see us in actual real life from Biospheres.
Are we doing the show live, are we?
Well, we'll just find a corner and just do it somewhere. We won't ask. It's better to just do and not ask permission than it is to ask permission and get told no.
Can I bring my guitar?
We'll do it in your hotel room. We'll call it an exclusive.
After you've gone to bed at 10 o'clock.
Yes.
Yeah.
Why don't we do it on our bridge?
Oh yes, we could do it on the bridge. Oh, James, if I teach you to play the bass, how long have we got?
A year.
Yeah.
A year. Yeah, you can play the bass guitar in a month. That's fine.
Okay, so obviously we're talking about
it requires no talent.
No problem.
Perfect.
Excellent. Right. Well, thank you so much for watching. You've all been amazing. Thank you. Thank you to the Trekkie Girls for having us down for the weekend, and us all. Well, 3 of us recovering from hangovers. Congratulations to Carl on the birth of baby Esri once again.
Well done, Carl. Outstanding.
Thank you.
Congratulations. And let's exit on Ludlow's frozen food. Roll VT.
Hey, right now, Loblaws is having a huge frozen food sale. You can get tremendous value. And over 60 frozen food items go through meat entrees, those concentrated beef. You can save plenty. Left out in the cold. Come on in and stock up that freezer. Loblaws frozen food sale. Another reason why more than the price is right. Does he work here?
Let's all go to the ball as the Ludlaw's frozen food penguin.
Yes.
What again?
I tell you, if you'd have turned around to that Shatner back in that day and said, "By the way, you'll be in actual real space in 40 years,"
Yeah.
he would never have believed you.
But where was the penguin?
Come on, Jeff. Where was the penguin?
If we're revisiting, do we have the Milwaukee bus one? Can we? Oh, it's too late.
Oh, you know what we
The
should have
Milwaukee
done?
bus ride is amazing.
You know what we should have done?
I'll see if I can find it.
When Shatner landed on Bezos' rocket, everyone should have been dressed as a Milwaukee penguin.
Or as apes.
Right, that's it for this week. Thank you very much. Give us away. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Look after yourselves and each other.